What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm here to break down the top cash plays on the NFL Week 2 Sunday main slate on Draftkings. We are here. It's Week 2. Cash NFL is my favorite sport. Really the only sport I like playing cash for in Draftkings. I don't know. I've just had a lot of success at it, where in other ones I really haven't. So I like playing cash Draftkings for NFL. So love making these videos for you guys. If you're new to this channel, make sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe to this channel, leave a comment, turn on notification bell. All those things really help me grow. We've had a lot of growth throughout NFL's, NBA, and NASCAR season now, and I just want to continue that growth. If you want to get more of my content, you can subscribe to my Patreon, where for only $10 a month, you're going to get weekly articles for every single position, every single week. You're also going to get an article for every single Thursday, Monday night, and Sunday night showdown. You're also going to get all my rankings for all my positions for cash and GPP, along with my top stack rankings and all my injury notes, where you'll know basically if someone gets ruled out on Sunday before everything happens, you'll know who to go to. So be sure to check all that stuff out. But I think that's really all I got to say. Let's get into the top cash plays, where we are going to start with Mitchell Trubisky at $5,500. He is going against the New York Giants, whose defense sucks. Yeah, they suck. That's it. I mean, they're just not good. I mean, we saw Trubisky play pretty good at a $5,000, $5,200 price tag last week. Now he gets to go up against a defense that's a lot worse than the Detroit Lions. It's going to be overall a positive matchup for him if I can get there. I mean, we just look at the wide receivers. Allen Robinson and Anthony Miller just should handle these corners pretty easily. The offensive line matches up well against defensive line. It's just the Giants secondary is just not good. So I think Mitch Trubisky at $5,500 is a good value to play in cash. I like going there. Carson Wentz at $6,000, same thing. I mean, this game I think it's gonna be high scoring. I put both sides of this game in cash. If you look down there, you see Jared Goff, who we talked about last. At only $6,000, this team looks like they're gonna be someone who's gonna throw the ball a lot. I mean, Deshaun Jackson, Jalen Reagor were top 10 in air yards last week, so they're running deep routes. So I mean, that just shows that they want to throw this ball a lot more than they were last week. I mean, they were getting sacked a lot. So I think this is a team that could stack. I mean, I really have stressed this in pretty much every single video I've made. I think this game could shoot out. I think this game has a ton of scoring potential, a lot higher than people expect it to be. So I like going to Carson Wentz in cash. He's cheap enough where from supposed to be playing from behind that they could do very well. Tyrod Taylor, $5,300. I mean, he's just really cheap, and he's going to be playing against the Chiefs. They're going to be throwing the ball a lot. They're going to be playing from behind. Probably not my favorite one, but if you really want to go cheap at quarterback, I think Tyrod Taylor's the cheapest I would go. I don't hate it. It's just I don't think he has a ton of upside, but I do think he has a solid floor, and I think he's fine for cash. Kyler Murray's probably my favorite cash quarterback if you can get to him at only $6,100. Kyler Murray for $6,100. We know the rushing floor and upside he has. I mean, he was, 1 yard away from a 100-yard bonus last week on the ground. He has one of the best matchups on the slate. The Redskins suck. Secondary's trash. He should be able to run all over them. I mean, it's just too cheap for someone who has such upside and such a floor. So yeah, Kyler Murray, definitely someone I want to get to in cash for sure. And then Jared Goff's last one for cash at only $5,800. He's somebody who, for the LA Rams, they are going to. It's just a game that I think is going to be high scoring. I think they're going to pass the ball a lot. I think the run defense for Philly is pretty good, so they're going to have to pass more. I like stacking Goff to Woods and Cup in tournaments, but I think at only $5,800 for a high-scoring game, I think it's a fine play to go to. So yeah, Jared Goff, good for cash. If I had to rank these guys, I'd probably go 1 Kyler, 2 Carson Wentz, 3 Jared Goff, 4 Trubisky, 5 Tyrod Taylor. That's my rankings for those cash plays. Now we're going to go to tight ends, where usually I'm going to have 5 for every position, but there's only 2 tight ends in cash you're playing this week. If you're playing a different tight end than either Chris Herndon or Logan Thomas this week, I don't know what you're doing. Logan Thomas saw 8 targets last week, and now they go play against Arizona, who was the worst team against tight ends last year. We basically just streamed tight ends against them all year. He ran 77% of the dropbacks, of Dwayne Haskins' dropbacks. He's basically a receiving tight end. Basically, he is not out there to block. He's out there to catch passes. That's what his job is going to be. He is getting elite tight end usage, at least he did in week 1, and I expect that to continue again this week. And at only $3,600, so we're going to get 8 targets against against the Arizona Cardinals. Give me all of that. And then Chris Herndon, same thing, except the matchup sucks. It's against the 49ers, which it's a horrible matchup, but he's $3,400. Jamison Crowder's out. Denzel Mims is out. Le'Veon Bell is out. He's the number 1 guy on offense at this point. Him and Perryman are the number 1 and number 2 guys on offense. Herndon saw 7 targets last week, and then now Jamison Crowder vacates 13 from last week. I mean, Herndon can get 10 to 12 targets this week. I'm not saying he will, but I think 10 is a pretty solid option for 10 targets for Chris Herndon. And I mean, if he just catches 6 balls, he's going to hit value pretty easily. So I mean, I like him in cash. I think both of them are good cash plays. I prefer Thomas just because I like the matchup better, and I think they get about the same amount of targets, but I mean, I think they're both really good plays, and I'm going to be playing. I don't think Herndon will be his own, so I think in tournaments he's even better, but still both really good cash plays. Next, we got the wide receivers, where, of course, it's not going to load. Devontae Adams I'll talk about first because he's the expensive one. I mean, Devontae Adams has this matchup where Jeff Okudah is questionable. Desmond Trufant is also questionable. So both those two miss. I mean, it's already a favorable matchup against either a rookie or a corner who's not good. Then you have two backup corners coming in and starting against Devontae Adams, who got targeted 17 times last week. I mean, it's just like, I feel like it's another smash day for Devontae Adams where he's just absolutely torched them. I love him in tournaments. I am going to be playing so much Devontae Adams in tournaments, but if you have the money, because, I mean, I was making cash lines today, and you can play Devontae Adams in 2 or 3 top-end running backs in lineups and it not be that hard. So Devontae Adams definitely someone that I want for some cash lineups. I think he's definitely just got the upside to absolutely smash that price tag. And, I mean, for cash, if you can go stars and scrubs, I always think that's the way to go, and Devontae Adams is the star I want to get to. So, and I think he's going to be like a 9,000 receiver this year if he keeps getting this 17 target usage. I don't know if he's going to get 17, but I think 12 should be like a floor for him. And, I mean, if he keeps getting that usage, he's going to be so good this year. Deontay Johnson, $4,500 going up against the Denver Broncos secondary that's completely depleted. He saw 10 targets last week against the Giants. He's just too cheap. I mean, you're going to get 10 targets out of Deontay Johnson. He's just simply way too cheap. The secondary's depleted. Give me that all day. Same thing with Paris Campbell. Had 9 targets last week. Matchup is very good against this Minnesota secondary, who's complete garbage. They suck. So give me all Paris Campbell. And then Mike Williams. They're going to be playing from behind against the Chiefs. The Chiefs last year allowed the most red zone attempts per game just because of, I mean, they would always be playing from behind. Or the teams would just be playing from behind against them. Mike Williams led the team in red zone targets last year. He's their big receiver. He's their deep threat. So Mike Williams is probably going to get... He's basically like a not as good version of DK Metcalf, honestly. I think they're very similar wide receivers. And I honestly think if Mike Williams was just in a better offense, he'd probably be very good as well. That's personally my opinion on him. I think he's a very good receiver. He's just been screwed playing with Phillip Rivers and Tyrod Taylor now, so hopefully Justin Herbert can free that man. But I do like Mike Williams here. I think he's a good spot just because he had 9 targets last week. He's going to get targets, so I like him. And then Christian Kirk, especially if you're playing Kyler Murray in cash, just stack him with Kirk. I mean, he's $4,700. He's only had 5 targets last week, but that's going to come up. He'll probably average like 7 a game. I mean, no way DeAndre Hopkins is getting like 19 a game every game this year. So I think that changes. Kirk had a tougher matchup last week in the slot against Kawhi Williams anyway. Now they're going up against the Redskins where Jimmy Moreland's in the slot. Pretty much easier matchup for Kirk. So I do like going there a lot more this week. I think all of them are very good cash plays. I like to rank them just as a cash play in general. Yeah, Devontae Adams is going to be last because as a cash play in general, But number 1, I'd probably say Mike Williams. Then I'd probably go Campbell, Deontay Johnson, Kirk, and then Adams. That's just how I feel they are. But all of them are good plays. Just play whichever one you want, whichever one you feel comfortable with. I mean, Williams is a little bit cheaper than the other guys, so if that gets you onto another big stud, then go for it. And then we'll close this cash video out with the running backs, who are always going to be the guys I say go with the top end ones. And honestly, not too high on McCaffrey this week. Only saw 4 targets last week, and it's against Tampa now, which is a really good run defense. And I just think Ezekiel Elliott, Derrick Henry, these 2 guys have just as big of a ceiling right now as him. So we go look at Ezekiel Elliott, where, it's against Atlanta, this super high-scoring game that we're expecting. The matchup's good. The Atlanta run defense isn't good. We all know Dallas's offensive line is elite. He saw 22 attempts and 4 targets last week. Zeke's game-independent running back. No matter what the game script's going to be, he's going to be out there. He might be getting targets, might be running the ball. We just know he's so good. And, I mean, 8,200, he can absolutely smash that salary, so definitely someone I want to go to. Derrick Henry, 7,900, another cash play I like. Henry saw 31 rushing attempts and 3 targets last week. If we start getting Derrick Henry to get the ball thrown to him, RB1, I'm telling you, RB1, Derrick Henry this year. Because he should have been getting balls thrown to him for years now. This guy's a freaking monster when he has the ball in his hands. So can you imagine him running downfield at corners? It's over. I mean, we saw him just destroy Earl Thomas last year in the playoffs. Anyway, Derrick Henry, I mean, they're going to be playing from ahead against the Jaguars. He's just destroyed Jacksonville over the course of his career. He's going to have the ball a ton. Jacksonville's run defense sucks. It's, a rare positive matchup for Henry. So for like running backs, usually running backs come out the negative. There's only a few every week that are positive. Henry's one of them that's positive. So give me Derrick Henry for sure. Then Jonathan Taylor is going to be the cash. I mean, it's just going to be a lock. You have to play him. He's going to be a chalk in tournaments too. But you got to eat that. I mean, look at that matchup. That run defense for Minnesota without Daniel Hunter is garbage. And Jonathan Taylor is behind the best offensive line in the league. There's no Marlon Mack now. He got ball thrown to him 6 times last week too. We know Philip Rivers loves throwing the ball to his running backs. He's done it for years now. And I mean, that was always a big question coming out of college, was Jonathan Taylor going to be able to catch passes? Well, he caught 6 for 6 last week. When I looked at I didn't even watch that game, but when I looked at the box score and saw 6 targets for Jonathan Taylor, I was like, oh man, this is going to be it. This is going to be the year for him. So he only had 9 attempts last week, but Nyheim Hines was in there. I think, after a full week of practice, he's going to be the workhorse back. They're not going to run Nyheim Hines as a workhorse. He might get targets, but Jonathan Taylor is going to get so many touches now, so many targets, only 5,700 in that matchup. Perfect cash play. Just you got to lock him in. Miles Sanders, $6,000 against the LA Rams. I mean, he didn't play last week because of oh my God, I don't care about McDonald's. Travis Scott. Miles Sanders last week was out, and he should have played. He honestly probably could have played. I heard they were just being cautious, and they just didn't play him because they thought they could win. That was a mistake. Philly offensive line is good. Lane Johnson's back now, so that's good. He's going to be to work as long as you don't hear anything out of camp that it sounds like he's going to be limited. I think he's going to be a workhorse back against the Rams. They have Aaron Donald, but the rest of that defense line isn't good. So it's going to be a good matchup for him overall. And I think Miles Sanders should be able to. He's going to get usage in the passing game too. He should get 20 touches a game. I'm probably going to say 16 on the ground, 4 targets. So that's good in a high scoring game. I'd like going there. And then Kenyon Drake's just too cheap at $5,900. He only saw 16 carries. He saw 16 carries last week, but only 2 targets. But Chase Edmonds saw 5, and I don't think they're going to just target Chase Edmonds more than they are going to target Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake over the course of his career has been such a good pass catching back. So I think that changes probably more in favor of Kenyon Drake. So if we're getting 5 targets from him, I think that's much better. Against Washington, it's a good matchup, so I do like going there. I think all of them are good cash plays. If I had to rank them for cash plays, number 1's Taylor, 2 is going to be Zeke, 3 Henry, 4 Drake, 5 Sanders. But yeah, I think that's really all I gotta say on these cash plays videos. I mean cash plays. If you're new, cash is head-to-head games, 50-50s, or double ups, or double ups or triple ups. So all those games are cash games. So yeah, thank you guys so much for checking this out. Make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment telling you how you thought the video was, turn on the notification bell. All those things really help me out. Thank you guys so much for checking this out. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend watching football, and hopefully we make some money, especially in cash games.